I'm going to show you how to create a quick dashboard for your data. Here we have a table of data, which is the sales figures for a company. And what we're going to do is we're going to, first of all, we're going to insert a pivot table, and that's the first step to a dashboard. So we click somewhere within our table, we go to the insert on the menu bar, and we go pivot table. And we say OK. Now what we're going to do is we are going to, in our rows, we're going to have our salespeople. So I'm going to drag that to rows, salespeople, and in my columns I'm going to have the type of sale that they did. So I'm going to drag type to columns, and the value I want summed up is the amount. So I'm going to drag amount to the amount table there. So that's pretty well what we need. Now, what we need to do is we need to create pivot charts for these so we can see what is actually going on. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on pivot chart here. And what I'm going to do for the first one is I want a pie chart. And so I'm going to click and say OK. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open a new sheet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to Control X to copy this to the new sheet, and I'm going to paste it right here. Let's make it a little smaller here. Now what we're going to do is we're going back to our pivot table, and we're going to click on Analyze, and we're going to select another type of chart. And so I am going to go with the line, maybe this one, and I'll say OK. And once more, I'm going to go Control X, and I'm going to move it to my new sheet. And then I'm going to resize it so that it's about the same size. Actually, maybe I'll put it right here so it's the same size. And now for the third one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my pivot chart, and I'm going to analyze again and pivot chart, and I'm going to do the one it's been trying to suggest for me the whole time, and I'll say OK. And I'm going to Control X this and bring it to my next sheet. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drag this to make it larger. Okay, so now the only thing that we need here is we need to have slicers on our dashboard. So let's go back to our first sheet there, and what we're going to do is we're going to go Insert, and we're going to click on Slicer. Now it wants you to select what you want to slice it by, and I would like to slice it by the type, the date is one of them, the type of rental is what I would, or type of sale that they have. And so I'm going to say OK, and I'm going to get two slicers as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this and go Control X, go to my new sheet, and go Control V, and then I'll go back to do the same thing with my other one. So now we just simply have to, what I'll do is I'll minimize this a little bit so you can see it all. Maybe not that much. So here we have, now let's go to the view for a second, and let's take off the grid lines. Okay, now we can change our chart by clicking on one of the slicers. So for example, let's click on rental, and you notice that everything changes. Okay, now let's click on let's take that off, and now let's click on a couple of dates. So what we can do is we can choose, if we choose one date, we'll just get a little bit of data here, And we can do is we can click on one and press the control key, and let's click 3 days in a row. And there you see what it's done for the 3 days. So that's how you make a quick and easy dashboard. Please subscribe.